Have you ever pondered the sensation of being awakened by a catastrophe, one that forever alters the trajectory of history? One such event happened on the night of December 3, 1984, in the city of Bhopal, India. Bhopal, a peaceful city which beautifully balanced tradition with modernity, housed the Union Carbide India Limited pesticide plant, a major pillar of the city's economy. However, that night, a deadly gas leak from the plant wreaked havoc and drastically affected the inhabitants. The city that once lay in peaceful slumber was shocked awake by a horrific nightmare that would haunt them for many years to come. Envision the scenario of waking up to a city engulfed in chaos, where confusion and fear rule. This was the reality the morning after the gas leak for the inhabitants of Bhopal. The immediate aftermath was characterized by a void of silence, a staggering death toll, and irreversible destruction caused by the toxic gas. The citizens' reactions were a cocktail of panic, disbelief, and a deep-seated fear that was hard to eradicate. The government's immediate response, along with the relentless medical aid and the unity of citizens providing support, were instrumental in the rescue and recovery efforts. The city was left in ruins, and the people were burdened with a tragedy that they would have to live with for their remaining lives. What transpires when a metropolis is left to grapple with the remnants of one of the globe's most catastrophic industrial mishaps? The repercussions of the Bhopal Gas Tragedy still reverberate within the city today, serving as a chilling reminder of the dreadful night that permanently marred innumerable lives. The aftermath of the calamity left the city dealing with long-term consequences. The city's residents bore the brunt of a disaster that extended beyond a transient scare. It morphed into a relentless actuality, infiltrating all facets of their existence. The health repercussions were deep-seated and widespread. Respiratory ailments, visual impairments, neurological complications, and a plethora of other health issues became the new status quo for the survivors. However, the health implications extended beyond the immediate survivors. The subsequent generations bore the burden of a legacy of agony and distress. The toxins that saturated the air that horrific night precipitated a rise in birth anomalies, outlining a bleak portrait of the disaster's lasting impact. The city was also ensnared in persistent legal disputes. The survivors and their kin grappled for justice and acknowledgement of their hardships, and for compensation that often felt like an empty triumph in light of their losses. The relentless legal wrangles served as another testament to the enduring aftermath of the tragedy. The endeavor to decontaminate the site was riddled with obstacles. The remnants of the disaster were omnipresent, in the air, water, soil, the structures, and the very essence of the city. The decontamination process became a monumental challenge, a glaring reminder of the calamity's scale. The Bhopal gas tragedy was not merely a catastrophe, it served as a lesson in responsibility, safety norms, and the value of human life. It left permanent scars on the city and its inhabitants, acting as a stark reminder of the severe repercussions when industrial safety and accountability are overlooked. A lesson that should be eternally etched in our minds, guiding our actions in an era where industrial advancement is progressing at an unprecedented rate. One night was all it took for a city to plunge from tranquility into turmoil, from slumber into conscious horror. The Bhopal gas tragedy, an industrial catastrophe that reshaped the city and its people indefinitely, stands as a grim testimony of the destructive power of industrial. This horrific incident occurred under the cloak of night, with an unseen murderer, methyl isocyanate gas, infiltrating the streets, households, and lungs of Bhopal's oblivious inhabitants. In the wake of the event, the city was left to wrestle with the extensive loss of life and the prolonged health repercussions for survivors. This tragedy's echo still resonates through the generations, a touching reminder of the human price of negligence and the indispensable need for stringent safety measures. However, it doesn't end at recalling the past. It also involves envisioning the future. As we commemorate the Bhopal gas tragedy, it becomes imperative to ask ourselves, have we assimilated our lessons? Only the passage of time can provide an answer to that query.